just to save time, I didn't want to deal with the shuffling, and also I'm not feeling too well, and I apologize for getting for the delay in getting this video out to you guys. I've been feeling kind of under the weather. Okay, so I apologize. These cards are a little bit smaller. I'm using the same spread, but they all fit on screen, so I'm just going to lay them out. It helps me with the reading. I'm going to relay the initial messages that came through as I was shuffling for you, and that's going to take about 5-6 minutes or so, and then we'll go into this spread, okay? So one of the first thing that I'm sensing for some of you is they're saying here there's a lot of opportunities when it comes to income generating endeavors. So I do see new contracts coming through, new people pursuing you for your services. For those of you who are consultants, self-employed, I do feel like a lot of clients coming through. What I'm also feeling is they're saying discussions with exes. Discussions with exes. So that means, getting some type of a resolution, getting some type of answer, closure, whatever is necessary so that you can move on, okay? I do feel as well when it comes to like just social interactions as well as I see like a blending of social contacts with professional contacts. So I feel like, socializing with professional contacts in a more in a more outdoors setting, and allowing yourself to, let your guard down when it comes to like if you are interviewing, for example, that's also like a way in which the blending of the social and professional contact can happen. And I feel, in job interviews, and if you're going through the process of, securing jobs, securing loans, securing some type of financial windfall for yourself, I do feel it is very, very favorable for you all for this month. I see a lot of good blessings when it comes to money, financial transactions, as well as resolving disputes regarding financial transactions, okay? For those of you who are like mothers or fathers, you have children, I feel there are going to be discussions with exes, the parent, the other parent. If you're no longer together, discussions with the other parent regarding how to, where where to put the children. So that can be enrollment in school, education, as well as I don't feel so much, possibly even child support. So for example, if the children are, grown up and you feel like they need to go to a specific school because, the quality of education is better, I feel that, you're going to be discussing these things with the ex-partner, and there might be financial assistance that is being discussed coming through from you to them to you, so that it can improve the educational quality of the child. And I also feel likewise, like extracurricular activities, if they need to be picked up at a later date. So I feel a lot of these discussions, logistical issues regarding, for parents with children that are growing up. What I'm also feeling is, and this is a little bit of a cryptic message. It says like to move forward. I feel like a lot of you need to clear up some karma from your past. Okay, and that's very cryptic, and I feel like that can apply to everything. But I do sense it pertains to communication. So it says that you have some blockages that are preventing you from, clearly seeing the path forward. And I feel like a lot of you are shying away from some type of confrontation. A lot of you are shying away from being aggressive, being assertive in order to like get something that you want. I feel that they're telling you, don't wait around for it, go get it. And I feel like that's that's an appropriate message for Libras, I feel. So it's saying that, don't downplay it as if you don't want it, or at least, don't rely on this sense that, oh, if it's meant for me, it will be for me. They're saying, no, you should actively go out and pursue it because it is meant for you, especially if it is career opportunities, job opportunities, or new contracts, okay? When it comes to love relationships, I don't feel that message is applicable, but I do feel that they're saying, pertaining specifically to love relationships, I feel like you have some emotional hangups. You have some unanswered questions that you need to discuss with an ex-partner so that you can have the closure that you need. And try to get that situation, resolved, because I feel like the other person is going to be on board with having this discussion with you, so that you can move on. I don't see resentment, I don't see hostilities between the two of you, so I feel like that's maybe the best route to take, so that at least you have the answers that you need. Okay, what I'm also feeling as well is they keep saying they keep saying like there are blockages in front, so you have to go through the back way. So it might be like whatever you're aiming for, it's going to take a roundabout turn in order for you to arrive at it. So there isn't a shortcut. Well, it seems almost as if you're going to have to go do things, like not in a sneaky way. You're not sneaking around, but I feel like it's going to be a little bit longer than you expected, and it's going to require a few detours to get to your destination. And so they're pretty much saying be prepared for unexpected detours that are coming through on the path for you to attaining your goal. Okay, and I feel for many of you it might be educational, it could be career oriented as well. So let's just go into your reading here. The first two cards that I have out here are the Strength card and the Two of Swords. Um, what I'm feeling overwhelmingly, and this is a card that also just came out for Sagittarius. The Two of Swords is a situation, this is your energy actually, you're the Suit of Swords. The Two of Swords is a situation where our intuition is telling us there's more to the story. However, as a coping mechanism, also as a defense mechanism, we might be hesitant about delving into a situation in order to extract information, in order to figure something out, mainly because we feel like the truth might be a little bit worse than we anticipated. So then there's this card here about, denial, sweeping things under the rug and not really budging. This is a card about major decisions as well, but I feel like this woman, she is really not taking charge. She's kind of like being complacent. She's stuck in her own, kind of like she's blindfolded, refusing to see. So she's kind of stuck in a prison of her own making. So I feel like there's this energy once again coming through for some of you, where you have to do some research, you have to dig a little bit deeper, and the answer is there. And I feel like your intuition is telling you the answer is there, and you're going to have to do the work. Okay, so don't sit back idle and expect it to come to you. You're going to have to go out and reach for it. Okay, it's linked up here with the Strength card, and the Strength card is about courage, it's about resilience, and it's also about like picking your battles, but doing so in a way that is very diplomatic. So first of all, linked up with the Two of Swords, I feel like it's telling you like there is a situation where you might not have all the answers, and you fear dredging it up again is going to create some type of conflict, some type of confrontation. But it's telling you not to fear it. The situation is not as bad, and you've actually got this one under your control. So if you look at the depiction on this card, it's the woman. She's got the lion, kind of like wrapped around her finger. So it might seem like a very scary, difficult situation, but it's not going to be as bad once you tackle, once you tackle it head on. Okay, so be courageous, and you're going to sail through this just fine. So whatever person that you need to extract information from, I do feel it is really important that you do it and not shy away from it, and don't be turned off because of potential for conflict, because I feel like in your head it's going to seem a lot worse, but in reality, if you get in there, get your hands dirty, and just roll up your sleeves and get to the bottom of things are going to work out really well for you. Okay. The Strength card is also a card greatly indicative of like, physical strength when it comes to health. I don't see images and impressions of health scares and things like that. But I feel like it might play out with somebody in your family. It might play out with, some type of some type of diagnoses and things like that coming through from a family member. There might be trips taken as a result of it. Also, be careful about overexertions. Like for those of you, if you are starting any type of a exercise regimen, just know your body and don't overextend yourself. So that means, exercising recklessly without getting any type of rest. Hydration is very important here. I'm feeling a lot of, hot energy. So hydration, proper rest and recuperation after strenuous workout and things like that. I do feel minor health issues as it pertains to like fevers, as it pertains to like throat, teeth, types of, things that you need to take care of, or at least, see a dentist. Those are the areas that are heavily affected, okay? So fevers, throats, teeth, and especially if you have children, they might fever over because of some toothache. So there might be, some type of and you have to at least get to the bottom of it. I feel like, which means that extraction is probably required if you're dealing with children. Okay. The second two cards here is the Page of Pentacles as well as the Eight of Cups. The Page of Pentacles indicates a situation where somebody's learning some new skills, okay? So they're picking up some skills, they're trying to accumulate new skills so that it would help them on the job market. And the Page of Pentacles usually indicates a person that is an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. This is also somebody that I feel for a lot of you, it might have been you might have been emotionally involved with this person somehow. It could be a friend, family member, or even like a romantic interest. But what I'm feeling is there is a situation here where two people are having a difficult time communicating. And I feel like this person, they might have I feel almost like they might have walked away when you needed them in the past, and now there's an element here about them coming back in, trying to either reconcile or trying to, get some answers. So we have it linked up with the Eight of Cups, which means a situation where people, where someone is like emotionally checked out. They have emotionally no longer they stop investing in a situation. They're moving on into the world and they're trying to find something new. So I feel like some of you might be dealing with this situation where, somebody walked out and now they're coming back in and they potentially want to meet up with you and you're kind of like at a loss for words as to what to do. For others of you, this is a card about, schooling, learning new things, and starting over, like to cultivate new skills, okay? A lot of you might be in school and you're trying to figure out a direction that is going to be financially lucrative for you. So I do see a lot of people in the finance sector, a lot of people doing like, more, I guess, like more logic, rational base careers or professions, such as the mathematics, such as even like the sciences, the physical, the biological sciences. Okay, so I feel like a lot of you are going through this process. I feel that, for the next 8 months at least, if you are in this capacity where you are building new skills, trying to improve your portfolios, trying to improve your resume, you might be starting new internships as well. There might be new internship opportunities available for those of you who are like under the age of 30 and you're trying to start a career. And I feel that I feel like some of you are trying to decide which path to take, and then for others of you, for the next 8 months, I feel that there might be some snags along the way where you might change direction. So, for example, if you're starting graduate school, and you might have thought like, I wanted to do research on this, and then, something happened 8 months down the line, you're inspired to do something else. And as a result of it, you might do a 180 when it comes to your career track, or when it comes to your concentration, or when it comes to, the research, the field of interest that you are going to pursue. So I do see some type of a change around, like a switcheroo, like a 180 when it comes to a certain career. You might be invested in this right now and you feel like, no, it's not really feasible. It's not as exciting. There's too much risk involved. So you might be venturing out something further outside, okay? And then for others of you, I feel like they're pretty much saying that the options that are going to be made available to you are the ones outside of your comfort zone. So I feel that you need to, do some critical thinking when it comes to like, realistically, what is holding you back? Is it like, are you staying in one space mainly because it is financially more stable? And then are you like shying away from the more fun the more exciting option, mainly because of the risk involved, or because, it requires you stepping out of your comfort zone. But I feel like the most rewards are going to come through whenever you are, in a position to take risks and at least to expand outside of your geographical location. Okay. The next cluster here is the Page of Rods as well as the Seven of Cups. The Page of Rods indicates news, communication, and things like that, even travel opportunities that are coming through for you. For a lot of you, you might be dealing with a fire sign. This is a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo. It's linked up with the Seven of Cups, which indicates a fantasy. So if this is like somebody that is providing you, travel opportunities, it feels almost like it's too good to be true. They're painting a very rosy picture of some type of proposal, some type of proposition for you. And I feel a lot of you are tempted to go in this direction, but one of the warnings with the Seven of Cups is some of these choices are good, but all of them are not good for you. So it's kind of like bringing down, bringing your expectations back down to earth, and sifting through, fact from fiction in order to figure out which choices are worth pursuing and which ones are going to pan out well for you. So I feel almost as if a lot of you might be in a situation where something seems like, all wonderful and spectacular on the surface, but there is additional information that is being kept hidden from you. So all that glitters is not gold. You need to, take it slow, and you need to at least ask all these questions in order to. You're a very sharp sign, you need to like go through that whole, rationally explore these options, or at least run them through your head, run it through that logical part of your brain to make sure if these choices are realistically going to pan out for you. Okay. It's linked up here with the fire sign, and this is a very adventurous person. This is a very young, very quite adventurous person, very playful as well. So I feel like they might spin you a pipe dream, and they might try to sell you something sell you on an idea, on a concept, on a, just like on something that is not very realistic, not grounded on reality. So a lot of you might be romantically involved with this person, or you are fantasizing about this person, is what I'm feeling. And it's actually the first time I've seen this for a Libra reading where you are physically fantasizing about somebody, because I feel like, out of all the air signs, you are the least scattered. And your energy is very, very directed. And this is the first time I feel like, you're kind of like swept off your feet and your head's in the clouds, which is very rare to see. So I definitely feel you're going to look at this skeptically. You're going to cross-examine this opportunity that's provided for you. Now, the Page of Rods also indicates messages, communications that are coming through from other people. And once again, what you see is not always what you get, so understand where the source of the information lies and who is the one that's, delivering the message. So be careful about, what you hear, and be careful about what information is presented to you, because I feel like nothing is what it seems, and it requires a little bit of like research and follow up on your end, okay? The last two cards that are coming through is the Five of Swords as well as the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles, first of all, what I'm getting from this is it's a situation where you are potentially juggling two financial opportunities. And you might even be called upon to travel in order to secure some type of a financial opportunity. What it's saying as well is you have these two options, and some of you might be trying to juggle them. Some of you might be accepting a financial opportunity, and then like a week later, like I feel like 7 days, a week, or like at least 9 days, another opportunity comes through. So you're trying to decide which one to take, which one to move forward with, or you're trying to decide if you can realistically juggle both of them at the same time. In the other sense, I feel that for a lot of you, this might be just romantic partners. You have two signs coming through here, and I'm going to do your love reading in a little bit. But I feel like, it's also a card greatly indicative of fantasy and juggling multiple options as well, possibly somebody juggling multiple options. We do have an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, or Capricorn. We do have a fire sign, and their energy is very opposing. The fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So I feel like you might be in a position where you are trying to decide between two things. On the one hand, one person has left and is coming back in, and then on the other hand, we have one person that is painting almost like it's like a source of temptation, but it seems almost like it's too good to be true. And then for others, it might just be deciding on a career path, deciding on travel opportunities, deciding on whether or not you can realistically juggle two financial options, like two options where you can make money. Okay, so I feel like overall it's a good financial month for a lot of you, where there's a lot of rebuilding, there's a lot of money coming through as well, and the alleviation of financial worries if you've been dealing with that in the past. The Five of Swords indicates a situation where it's an empty victory. So we have two people who are, kind of like decimated after the war, and one person that is pretty much winning at the cost of the other two. So I feel like, it's a swift victory, but it's also an empty victory because it's at somebody's expense. So what I feel happening here is there might have been a situation where I feel like for some of you, you want answers from another person, and I feel like they're telling you don't be afraid of the answers. You need to, get whatever, extract whatever information that you need to, because I feel that you are entitled to it. And if it was a situation where somebody walked out, I do feel them coming back in because something didn't work out with whatever they initially planned on. Okay, so this is a kind of like a catch-22, because on the one hand, when somebody comes back in after a failed, attempt at something else, there's that whole concept about, do we let them back in, or do we just, to protect our pride, do we just move away? So I feel like you do whatever you need to do to get the closure that you need to move on. Okay, so don't worry about what people think. This is really important for you to get closure this month in order to finalize, close some doors and to finalize some things, okay? And on top of that, you have a lot of financial situation that you need to sort out, which is your career path, the direction of what you want to focus on, and that's specifically on the income generating sector. So that's going to occupy pretty much majority of the month. Now, in terms of your spiritual advice, we do have the Six of Wands, which is a victory card, the Six of Pentacles, which is, financial windfall, and the Ten of Cups. So what I have here is we have great cards in for your spiritual advice. The Ten of Cups indicates a situation where you are kind of like at the, it's like the height of emotional bliss, okay? Emotional satisfaction, happy home, happy family, happy children. And whatever amount of work that you're putting in order to nurture, foster, and care for another person, it is going to be reciprocated. So, I feel like the children, the energy of the children, if you have been nurturing them, if you have been, meticulously taking care of them, there is going to be some type of I feel like the rewards are always going to be like it's going to manifest in a physical way. So they're gonna do something to make you feel quite proud, okay, and like as an appreciation for all the work that you put in the process of raising them, making sacrifices in order to raise them. So whatever you're putting in any the effort that you're putting in any areas of your life, it is going to pan out in a very beautiful and a very emotionally satisfying kind of way. The Six of Pentacles is usually a card of like some type of a karmic rebalancing. Okay, so that can be giving, doing community service, and then seeing, money coming through for you. So it's basically karmic rebalancing of that scale. If there has been financial difficulties in the past, I do feel there is a financial windfall as it pertains to like, loans, scholarship, even landing a job. But I do feel for a lot of you, scholarship, like winning a scholarship, outshining your opponent when it comes to getting a job, or landing that internship. So I do feel a lot of success when it comes to the career front. And because of that, there's going to be a lot of emotional contentment and emotional satisfaction when it comes to, getting a job, like getting congratulations and things like that for a job well done. So overall, it is heavy, happy energy. And I'm really actually very glad to see this for you guys. We do have here a clear victory. So for those of you entering contests and things like that, it might be a good month for you to do that, because I do see no matter what, you're going to be quite happy. You're going to be quite pleased by the end of the month. And then for those of you who are going through financial worries, I do feel the financial situation sorting itself out. There is going to be, I feel like acts of generosity coming through from other people in like unexpected ways. Okay, so you have some strong divine protection here. Now the Six of Wands is a victory card. This is kind of like I feel like they're pretty much telling you, be brave, and whatever you need to confront in order to get your point across, in order to get people to come around to your point of view, really try to speak up, okay? Because I feel like you might have like, this idea that you feel is very, very small. It's not going to change anything. But I feel in the process of, bringing it up to other people's attention, in the process of not shying away from the spotlight, I do sense that whatever you need to do, it's going to put you in the forefront to implement some major change, to be possibly in charge of projects and things like that. If you are put in a position where you are supervising, managing, or in charge of specific project, it's going to pan out very beautifully. Okay, so good for you guys, Libras. Let's go into your love reading. Okay, so for Libra, I keep getting this. I feel like right off the bat, I feel like somebody is showing you guys that they're interested in you, and I feel like you had no idea. So it's like they keep making themselves known that they're interested in you, but for some reason you don't see it. So I feel like, I don't know why you don't see it. You might just be thinking that they're joking. That's what I'm feeling. Or you might be interested in somebody else. So you're kind of like tuning out everything else in your environment. But I feel like somebody is showing you that they're interested, and you're just not getting that message. Okay? So I'm going to go 3 cards each in each position for you guys. Mainly because these, it's easier for me to read. You've got a lot of swords. A lot of sword energy, which is like things happening on the mental front and not so much on the physical front. So you might be thinking, fantasizing, dreaming about, daydreaming about, but like things are not really physically, manifested in real life. Let's talk about the past first. In the past position, we do have the Magician, the Knight of Coins, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Strength card. So what I'm feeling here is, this can go many, many ways, okay? But what I'm feeling here is a lot of you were dealing with an earth sign. So we have the Knight of Coins, which is a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Libra. This is their sun, their moon, or their rising. And what I'm feeling here is this is somebody that is, very, very, they're very cautious. They're like the slowest moving knight in the deck. And this can be a male or a female. And I feel like this is a person that is trying to assess whether or not you are relationship material. Because I do feel they are looking for something a little bit more real, a little bit more authentic, and a little bit more stable. And I feel they were assessing whether or not, they want to move forward, whether or not you're going to reject them. I feel like this might be the person that came out earlier when I mentioned that somebody's trying to make their feelings known to you, but you are either ignoring it. I don't feel you're ignoring it. I feel like you're not getting it. Like they might be very shy about expressing their feelings. And as a result, you didn't even understand that they are telling you that, they're interested. So, for example, they might have been like, "Oh, let's can you meet me for coffee sometimes?" That's a date, but in your head you're just like, "Oh, he or she just wants to, get coffee with me." So I feel like it's like that. It's kind of like this absent-mindedness coming through from your end, and they're they're kind of like, "Why isn't the other person getting it?" So I feel like I'm reading for like the younger people. That's what I'm feeling. So we have this person, and I feel this person is quite interested in you, okay? They are very attracted to you. And I feel like what's coming through as well is they're looking at your lifestyle. And I feel like you're showing up here as the magician. And the magician is somebody who is very, very beautiful, very desirable. And, you can be male or female watching this. But they're looking at your lifestyle. It seems very opulent. It seems very extravagant. And they're not sure if they can give you, what you want, what you need out of a relationship. So they're kind of like insecure about their ability to provide you with a lavish lifestyle, to provide you with, whatever it is that you're craving and you're hoping for. For a lot of you, the ways that you spend money and the ways that this person spend money might be a contentious issue between the two of you. And then as a result of it, I feel like there might be some conflict coming through as well. So the magician indicates a situation where somebody is like very, very, someone who is a very smooth talker, someone who's very intelligent, kind of like has a lot of suitors, has a lot of options, has a lot of projects, someone who's very busy, quite successful as well. So I feel like in the past you might have exhibited these qualities, and then this person might be intimidated and they might not have come forward, in a steadfast manner and show you that they're interested in you. However, underneath this union here is we do have the Strength card, and the Strength card is like somebody's lacking courage to really express how they feel. It could be from you or it could be from them, but somebody's lacking in that courage to, take that first step. Because I feel like, at the base of this is there is great intense attraction. This is like really, really strong physical attraction that two people have for one another. And they realize that, their lifestyles are very, very different. And they might even feel like sometimes there isn't a lot of compatibility because, it's the woman and the beast. They're like different species. So either way, I feel like you or the other person feel as if, you're from different planets. But there is really strong undeniable attraction between the both of you. And I feel that it's kind of hard to get a relationship started because one person feels quite insecure that they're not going to be able to live up to the other person's expectations. So which brings us to the present situation here. We have the Hermit, the Page of Cups, as well as the Seven of Wands. So give me 1 second. The Page of Cups, I feel like this is your energy. The Page of Cups is a situation where somebody is, offering their love, or they are making that gesture to reach out to show that they are interested in somebody. And I feel like that is you. And I feel that, you are in a position here where you are reaching out. You have a lot of suitors, I feel, Libras. And I feel that, you have a lot of, you know, especially for those who are single. You have a lot of suitors. You have a lot of people writing you love letters and, you know, telling you that they want to take you on a date. So you are very selective as well about, you know, who you really devote your time to. But once you commit, I feel that Libras are quite loyal. You are very diplomatic too, so you might, you know, be seen as flirtatious, but I feel that Libras are generally very loyal. What's coming through is I feel like you're making a gesture to another person, and the other person is kind of like skeptical because they feel like you have a lot of suitors. So there's still this uncertainty as to whether or not they want to invest in you. And then for others of you, I feel like you're dating somebody that is kind of like that you feel might be very different from you, that you feel you are out of their league or they are out of your league, and they likewise feel that way too. And I feel like you're in a situation where, you know, the love is very under the radar. It's very covert. So it could be a clandestine relationship, or it could be a situation where things are kind of hazy and you're not like dating them just yet. You're just seeing them. So I feel like all of these nuances are coming through. And they're pretty much telling you, you know, if you are dealing with a person, and this is a water sign. So this is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio specifically. If you're dealing with a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, they're telling you there's more to this story. This is somebody with a lot of options. So you want to do some preliminary, you know, research, asking around, because I feel like there's something shady in this person's past that you should know, but they're not revealing to you, okay? And it's linked up here with the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is a situation where somebody is doing something and they're not, they're getting ostracized for it. So this can be dating somebody who is already married, dating somebody who's already divorced, dating somebody, you know, where there is cause and concern for scandal or stigma or lack of approval from your social environment. My advice as well for you Libras is, you know, I mentioned that don't keep yourself stuck, and especially don't worry about what other people say. Do what you need to do to make yourself happy, okay? Don't worry about what people say. As long as you're not hurting anybody, so that means, you know, clandestine relationships can hurt people, so that's a no. But as long as you're not hurting anybody, don't worry about social status. Don't worry about what's appropriate, what's socially acceptable, because I feel like, you know, you're a very diplomatic sign and you might be easily swayed by other people and their opinions. You might easily jump on the bandwagon, so just be careful. But overall, you know, don't worry about disapproval from other people. You are living your life, okay? And I feel like you have the potential of having somebody very great coming through that your social group that somebody might not approve of, and this person is making you quite happy. So I feel like there's no need to, you know, justify what you're doing to other people, okay? Now the foundation here, we have the Nine of Swords, the Seven of Cups, as well as the Queen of Swords. So I feel once again, if you are dealing with water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, they're pretty much telling you there is an element here of some anxiety, some type of I always feel like shame and guilt with this card. So guilt, shame, a mixture of guilt, shame, anxieties. If you are dealing with a water sign, and this is extending across, you know, this can be an ex that is trying to get back into your life, that you are having some type of a romantic liaison with, and you're afraid that, you know, your friends would find out because they tell you that, oh, this is not a good person for you. This is not somebody that you should be with. And we have the Seven of Cups too, which indicates a lot of attraction, a lot of fantasy, a lot of like wanting that idyllic type of a relationship. And the reality is very different from what you're used to or what you're hoping for. So there's an element here about, you know, anxiety, and there's an element here about fantasy. So I feel like a lot of you are in situations that are very exciting. That might not be good for you, but it is very exciting, very, you know, like romantic nonetheless. So maybe there's an element of surprise, you know, the element of like keeping things under the radar, not letting people know about it, the secrecy, that's making it very exciting, very thrilling, but it's not something that is grounded in reality. It's not something that that will pan out in a stable way. So it's linked up here with the Queen of Swords, which is your energy. And the Queen of Swords is Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. I feel for some of you, this is your energy where you are, you know, just like you're trying to make decisions about what your heart feels versus what your environment is telling you. So I feel like, you know, on the one hand, you have this overwhelming need to have this kind of like this idyllic partner. And then on the other hand, you have somebody that really likes you, but I feel that, you know, there's something blocking you from moving forward with this person, possibly because you feel like they have a lot of suitors, they feel you have a lot of suitors. So there's an element here of a lot of flirtation, a lot of attraction, but one person seems as if they are afraid to approach the other person because the other person has a lot of options, okay? So there are all these obstacles, and they're pretty much telling you that, you know, don't keep yourself stuck and think that if it's meant for you, it's going to come your way. You're going to have to you're going to need to go out of your comfort zone in order to pursue something that you feel should be yours, okay? So, you know, it's like entering the race. You never know unless you try, right? So I feel a lot of you are holding yourself back. You're acting all cerebral and you're acting very, very aloof and very detached from a situation. But I feel somebody has your attention and you're really interested in them, okay? What's crowning this reading is the person or thing you are thinking about. We have the Eight of Coins, the Five of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is, once again, the whole concept about sneaking around, doing things under the cover of the night, doing things covertly and not wanting to get caught. So this is usually, you know, some type of shady business, sneaking around, not wanting to let other people know, or you could just be doing this if you are partnered up or you are seeing somebody who's partnered up. I see a lot of three energies here where, you know, juggling multiple people or dating somebody like an ex, going back to an ex and not wanting, you know, going back to an ex, somebody that really hurt you in the past, and then not wanting to have to explain to your friends or your family about it. And I do see ex-partners for some of you guys, which is like you know, ex-husbands, ex-wives or something like that, and feeling that sense of shame, but that sense of excitement at the same time. So if this is something that you're dealing with, just know that as long as you're not hurting anybody, okay, you don't need to explain yourself to people. So I feel a lot of you are just keeping things under the radar. We do have the Five of Wands, and the Five of Wands deals with conflict and opposition. So I feel like there's somebody that you're just like really, really attracted to. You don't get along, but you're just like, you can't, it's like a love them or hate them type of a relationship, you know, where you're attracted to each other. You can't really get along, but you can't really pull away either. So there's also, this is about accusations, and, you know, if somebody's sneaking around, there might have been some accusations that came into the picture. And then as a result of it, I feel that, you know, one person or the other person might have tried to really work at the relationship, might have tried to really curb their appetite in order to make the relationship work. But either way, there is conflict brewing, that has been brewing recently. The conflict might pertain to another air sign or an earth sign, okay? The air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. The earth sign is Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. And what I feel right now is, crowning this reading, if you have been dealing with some water signs, some air signs, the earth sign seems like the most stable, like the best option, not because it's an earth sign, but because I have this Eight of Coins, which means it's somebody that, you know, works hard at a relationship. And then with the air sign and the water sign, those seem to me like exes that you're going back to, or they seem to me like, you know, people that you are involved with that, you know, in the hearts of hearts, it might not work out for you. Okay, but the earth sign seems to me like it's something solid here. So what's coming through in your future position? We have the Four of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is kind of like keeping ourselves stuck in a situation, refusing to move forward, refusing to branch out. And it's also a card where we are afraid to step out of our comfort zone. So going back to what I mentioned before, the past is very, very comforting. It is safe and it's familiar. So I feel a lot of you are reverting back to exes because of this whole concept about, well, if I let it go, then I really need to step out of my comfort zone to, pursue new things. If I let it go, then I am empty-handed. Well, the point in life is that once we have outgrown another person, once we have moved past that stage in our lives, it is really important for us to find new things to do and invite new energies into our lives. We have the Ten of Wands, which is basically picking up the pieces of your own life and moving on. And then I feel a lot of you are going to go through a period where you are finally dating new people. So this is coming in the near future. So it could play out, by the end of the month where you start dating all over again. I feel very strongly like the 20th is when all of these social events are going to be coming through for you plentifully. And then as a result of it, you're going to be like in a better position to, move things forward with new people, new relationship partners, or at least, wear your heart on your sleeve so that you can attract new people. But right now, there's still some exes that are lingering around and they might not be good for you. For those of you who are in stable relationships, what I feel is, there are some things like some hiccups along the road where you might have to like there might be accusations that one partner is like talking to somebody else, and I feel like that situation is going to be easily resolved with a discussion. So there's a situation where somebody's accusing somebody of stepping out, and then there's going to be a discussion, and then things are hashed out. Then your partner becomes like, they go back and they're on their best behavior. And likewise, there's a lot of like cooperation coming through together where people are working hard to maintain the relationship. But at the base of this reading, I feel like this Queen of Swords is your energy where you have temptation coming through around you and you're trying to, not stray. That's what I'm feeling. So I feel like the temptation is coming in around you for you, and you're trying your best to, keep status quo and not stray. And then for others, I feel a lot of people are still have lingering ties with exes, okay? But overall, when it comes to romantic prospects, I do see, new social groups that are going to be formed, new friendships that are going to be formed for those of you who are newly single, and I do feel a very prominent earth sign that is going to be very good for you. Not the most exciting person, but I feel like they're very shy. It takes a long time for them to open up, but once they open up, the relationship can really take off because they are very stable, okay? So I do wish you the best, Libras. Once again, I apologize for the video and for the lateness, and I apologize. I've been having a fever for the past week, so the reading is a little bit like I get winded, and the reading feels a little bit disjointed. Okay, I apologize, Libras. If you'd like a private reading, please visit my website. The information is in the description box below. Take care of yourself, and I'll be back for the mid-month reading. Okay, bye bye.